Welcome to Absurd and Report Podcast. I'm Derek.
I'm Josh.
And I'm Nicole.
It's been a minute, guys, but I think we are finally going to get back into the swing of things. COVID has really dwindled down. You know, the numbers are way down. Most people are vaccinated.
We just weren't as funny during COVID, so we called it a day for a second.
It wasn't the logistics that kept us. It was just pure comedic reasons that we weren't recording. It's a dry spell. It happens to the best.
It's been about almost 8 months.
Almost 8 months.
Yeah.
The city that we live in is finally opening back up again. I think we're about a week and a half away from just back to quote unquote normal. I don't know. I think I'll still wear a mask.
I'm gonna definitely wear one for a minute.
For the summer.
For the summer minimum.
For the summer, call it the summer.
I like wearing masks.
I was also gonna say that I like wearing a mask.
It's like
we all read a lot of comic books. I mean, why not? I've been waiting to wear a mask all the time since I was a little kid. So
I will say I was rather surprised that no one really leaned into it. Like no
superhero vigilante outbreak, which would have been sick.
But I mean, if there was ever a time for Elon to just be like, you know what, we're going crazy billionaire with this motherfucker.
Yeah, I'm Iron Man now. It's cool. I'm Iron Man now, guys. I'm Tony Stark.
Iron Man.
He's already fucking Tony Stark, basically.
He can't be Tony Stark.
But like I was saying, we didn't hear. I know that there are with the advent of Instagram and TikTok and stuff like that, there are real true to life superheroes. It's mostly out in LA and California.
You're talking about just people in costumes beating people's ass, basically. Right?
I don't really think
Isn't
they get
that
to
what Batman is?
I don't think they get to beating. They're more
that fits the canon of superheroes, though. A large portion of superheroes don't have superpowers. They're just nutbags with costumes.
I think
that's because it's more realistic.
Yeah.
I think the people that I've seen are more community outreach.
There was that group.
Watch.
What was the fake superhero group?
Right.
That existed in. Was it Chicago?
Mr. Extreme.
I think these are the people I'm talking about.
Yeah. Okay, this one looks like a knockoff of a Mortal Kombat character.
Yeah, I was gonna say these shots that they came up with for their website.
Like Mortal Kombat
this is not what they look like in real life. If you see videos of any of these guys,
no, because if I see you running down the street looking like this, I'm gonna think you're a wacko.
Did you have to make a movie poster of yourself to get your point across?
But I do recall, Josh, I think seeing something that you were talking about, there was a single hero vigilante type guy.
No, he's in that group I'm talking about. He started that group.
He
started the group.
And I can't think of his fucking name. It's going to drive me insane.
People should just dress like they're Jessica Jones, a normal person.
Yeah, she's just dressed like an insurance agent or something
she doesn't, but she's not, she doesn't dress like that. She's also a drunk.
She's like, well, I'm a realtor, but I'm also a superhero.
She's a private detective.
Phoenix Jones.
Yeah, Phoenix Jones. That's his name.
There you go. He's a martial arts.
Oh, man, that was driving me fucking nuts.
He was a mixed martial arts fighter of some renown.
I forgot his original mask was a Spawn mask. It's literally the same thing.
Yeah, it's weird.
The Rain City.
Yeah, make your own design, right?
So he was the leader of the Rain City superhero movement, that's what I...
Okay, this is what I were trying to... This is exactly what I was trying to think of.
We'll fix that in post.
I wonder, how these people, after, they go home at night, how they unpack. They're just like, yes, I saved these people today. But, you, think of them doing the process, and if I ever saw this happening, I'd probably laugh.
Yeah, it's probably something where if something bad was happening, you wouldn't even help because you'd be laughing too hard at this man dressed like a giant bumblebee.
I could not hold my composure.
He's got molded fake abs on his costume.
I'd be like, is this real life right now?
That's a given. That is a given.
I always felt like if I would ever turn into any superhero, it'd be some sort of Spider-Man type thing.
The Spider.
We're gonna start talking about man spiders again.
From Veronica.
We had a fucking half an episode about man spiders already.
I know. Anyway.
Are we talking Spider-Man or man spider?
Not man spider.
So you don't want multiple arms. You want to be Spider-Man.
I don't want
multiple. This is the same fucking episode.
Just to clarify, you want Spider-Man's powers.
I feel like no, I don't want them. I'm saying if anything, I feel like if anything were to ever happen to me, it'd be by off chance that I got bit by a spider and some weird morbid powers.
That would be sick, yeah.
With my little
just on your
spider
fingertips.
hairs.
Yeah, because he's always using his fingertips to scale buildings in the comic book.
And maybe, like, some web shooting action.
There's no video here, so you're just making the web noise that moving your wrist. Nobody can see the Spider-Man finger to palm thing that he does, the blast.
Yeah, and you're doing it in a way that we're glad is not being filmed.
You're ghost riding the whip while you're fucking trying to shoot webs.
Josh,
yes.
preferred superpower, if you were so.
I've talked about this a few times in the last year. My girlfriend gets mad about my drunk rants sometimes about. I went on like a tirade about Magneto last year. How I was like, yeah, Magneto's powers, like hands down. Because somebody asked me and I said it really quick, and she was like, that sounds like you thought about that like a lot at one point. And I was like, yeah, I did. I did think about it at one point.
It was like I was watching an interview with Tom York from Radiohead, and someone was asking him Tom, out of all of the albums and all of the songs, side projects, he's like, what's your favorite? And before she's even really done, he's like, how to disappear entirely, or how to disappear completely.
I feel like that's the pervert superpower.
No, but that's his favorite. The favorite. So, but like he had as he had loaded like yours. But
it's like every creep is like, I want X-ray vision. Puts his glasses down.
X-ray vision.
Says beat whoop.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Wait, no. I would go with Nightcrawler.
It's got a cool power.
Teleportation.
And it's not just teleportation though.
There's some caveats.
He goes to a hole in reality, to an alternate, like a parallel dimension, like some sort of demon dimension that he has
in between.
So what people don't realize is he like gets in altercations in between these like bursts. So like they'll be in a fight and he's like, and then he has to like get another fight and then teleports back into reality.
Well, that's pretty cool. But
his life is horrifying.
I feel like if we're heading down this route though, and I had to pick one, it'd be Martian Manhunter.
Oh, you already had Spider.
Yeah, we've talked about this before. You love Martian Manhunter.
Yeah, I love Martian Manhunter.
Yeah, he's not douchebag Superman. That's what he is.
Today's topic. Yes, Nicole, do you want to lead us in? All right. So today's topic is Hollow Earth. I don't know if y'all saw the Godzilla versus King Kong movie, but I kind of always thought it was interesting before that movie, but that movie definitely made me, jump back into the realm of the theory of what is Hollow Earth.
Yeah, I mean, they had a tunnel and everything. Went right to it.
Yeah, no, but the weird thing is, like, they had a tunnel, but at some point it looked like they were going back through space, but in the middle of the Earth.
Kind of like almost like a black hole, like Event Horizon situation.
Yeah,
where it's like,
scientifically, all of that is so false. Like the whole thing was so like physically bad.
I didn't make it all the way through the King Kong movie. I don't think it's a prerequisite to know about Hollow Earth to watch the King Kong movie. I got a little bit of the Hollow Earth part of it. But like, it is something that is fairly prevalent through a lot of religions, the Hollow Earth. In
Buddhism, it's called Agartha. Yeah,
other cultures
have it. Also,
they have like diagrams of it, basically.
Lord of the Rings. Are
we throwing Lord of the Rings in as canon?
Tolkien?
As Inner Earth?
Yeah,
as Inner Earth theory?
Yeah, that is Hollow Earth,
Well, he was a racist white guy. I'm going to go off on some of the racist aspects of Inner Earth theory, people, because there is a thing with that.
So back in, 1692, Edmund Halley, which discovered Halley's Comet, essentially, well, he didn't discover Halley's Comet. He figured out that particular comet was a reappearing comet, thus naming it Halley's Comet.
Oh, they named it after him?
Yeah.
Okay. They thought it was a different one every time.
Yeah, they thought it was a different one every time, but they were...
What was it, like 90-something years in between those?
Like that,
that was 1705.
That was in 1705.
So before that, in 1692, Edmund Halley conjectured that the Earth might consist of a hollow shell about 800 kilometers thick, which is about 500 miles. It's got 2 inner concentric shells and an innermost core.
It's made completely of graham cracker.
Marshmallow rivers.
The s'more planet.
It's got atmospheres in separate shells, and each shell has its own magnetic pole. These spheres rotate at different speeds.
So we're talking like in a vacuum. There's these dual cores to other habitable places inside Earth.
Yeah.
Dang.
See, I was thinking that thing that they have like at a rave that they strap you into, that's all the different spheres, and then you spin around and
they
just like that.
Not them, but another theory.
That's how they thought of it.
It's like the gravitron at the carnival.
Yes. Someone posted like a gravitron for sale on fucking like.
That sounds dangerous as fuck to just buy a gravitron and set that up.
$25,000. I think my friend was just like, "Who's 25 friends throw $1,000 in."
Gravitron thrown into space, everyone crushed alive.
Yeah, I don't have 25 friends, let alone 25 friends that all have $1,000.
Let alone the $1,000 for a gravitron. Jesus Christ.
Priorities.
There's other theories too, like things like the aurora borealis happens because those are the lights that are coming out from the center Earth.
The like solar flare almost.
Well, yeah,
conjecture.
Isn't like the deal with people that believe this? They believe that there's a sun in the middle of the Earth because like gravity doesn't work the same on the inside of it. So then like everything rotates. Like you said, things are rotating differently, like in a concentric fashion, like around just a free floating ball. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, like, basically, where we're standing now, if you believed in this and you were there, basically you could be standing on a curve, but you'd be like, your feet would be on the curve and there would be flat land.
Like, could be like in a vacuum with its own gravitational
it's like a whole like the theory is like a whole
Self-sustained.
continent on the inside of the crust of the Earth, and like gravity. I don't know how to really
It's
describe
got like
this.
its own atmosphere. It's
like
where
gravity redirects basically when you once you cross like the cusp of the hole or
that's
something like that.
essentially what happened in
almost like a gimbal.
That's what happened
effect.
in the King Kong movie.
Mm-hmm.
They had that weird moment where
he
they were
reaches
they were like bouncing around for a little bit.
Oh, they did a gravity twist.
They reached a point where he went to like this edge of a cliff where there was like floating rocks, and he just like kind of like let gravity like flip him around, and he went to like another aspect of the inner Earth, or another like portion of it. It was pretty.
I'm not gonna lie, I basically blacked out while we were just having this conversation. I thought you were talking about Mortal Kombat.
Why do we invite you here?
No, I'm not. I'm kidding. I didn't see Mortal Kombat.
It was okay. It was.
Let's not go on a whole Mortal Kombat tangent.
All right.
No,
so here's Derek's Mortal Kombat tangent. All right. They never started the tournament in the movie. They got all the characters together. No, but it does. They just start fighting, and there's no judges. There's no fucking anything that resembles a tournament. It's just
it's the honor system, you know.
It's an honor system with just a bad action sequence followed by another bad. It's missable. Everyone was just like, it's going to be so much better than the first one. Dude, I take the first one.
Yeah, I love the first one.
Annihilation was a stinker.
We're going back to other episodes again. We reviewed Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
All right.
We literally did.
Episode of past episodes.
We fucking reviewed that movie.
Right, guys, seriously. Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
No. Hollow Earth.
It was in the video game
Hollow
movie
Earth,
episode.
you shut the fuck up. Hollow Earth has also been seen according to, various, he was an admiral.
Explorers?
Like early explorers into the north.
I don't want to call them scientists, but
no, they weren't. They were like Navy guys and Army guys for the most part.
They decided.
The guy you're talking about, I believe, is Air Force originally. Admiral Byrd.
Admiral Richard E. Byrd.
Yeah. Well, he basically.
He said he flew over the North Pole, and he called it the center of the great unknown. And he reports lush green grass there. But a lot of people speculate that he didn't actually make it to the North Pole.
So what? He probably went around it, and then
because the thing is that he kept a diary, and they're saying that like some of the dates don't line up. Like so, when he's saying that he went over the North Pole, he was actually somewhere else.
Yeah, because That's feasible because if you really think about it, like Iceland and Greenland are right there.
That's what I said too. I was like, what if he was just passing over,
There are things with grass near the North Pole, is all I'm getting at. Mm-hmm. And all you gotta do is be off by like...
Oh, yeah. What was
a couple hundred miles, you know?
The Arrival.
Oh, man. I can't believe you just brought this movie up because I was thinking about how bad that movie was.
It's bad, but that's how it starts, where they had like.
Why did The Arrival come up twice this week?
I have never seen this movie.
Oh, it's
Charlie Sheen versus CGI aliens. Is what it is.
Oh.
Yep.
So in my hands, I am holding a book called The Hollow Earth by Raymond Bernard.
Which this was given to me by a friend of mine that used to work at a book sorting plant. And me and him used to get on. We used to do a lot of hallucinogens and just talk conspiracy theory stuff and alien stuff. And somehow we got on this topic one day, and he showed up one day at my house and was just like, "Hey, I got a present for you." And he had found that in the book sorting plant. And it's clearly like a hand-bound book.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Hand-typed, I mean...
It looks like a book I made.
Almost, yeah, maybe hand-typed.
In school.
This is the dedicated to the future explorers of the New World that exists beyond North and South Poles.
NASA.
True explorers of the New World that exists beyond North and South Poles in the hollow interior of Earth.
The guy that wrote that book is obsessed with Admiral Byrd.
With Admiral Byrd.
Like, yeah.
I mean, it's literally the first sentence of the book, and it's...
Yeah. So, Nicole, what was the evidence to support that Admiral Byrd did not go anywhere near the actual North Pole? Like, just the grass thing, basically?
It wasn't the grass thing. It was that in his diary, he has timestamps of where he's been, and the timestamps didn't add up.
Did they have like a machine in the plane where you just like you're literally punching a card kind of time?
Oh no, just like
he's just
dating.
time?
Yeah, his own dating in his diary. He kept a diary that was for his recordings.
Oh, gotcha.
Because he took all of his explorations quite seriously. So 3 years later, he decided to go to Antarctica with a task force and finds an entrance into Hollow Earth, where he said was a different atmosphere, had woolly mammoths.
Oh, we're talking
he did an Arctic mission and an Antarctic mission, right? Is that the deal? Like, he did that North Pole one, and then that's how we got the funding to do the other one? Mm-hmm.
All right.
And so when he went in, he said that he was questioned by a bunch of advanced beings and was told to stop using atomic bombs.
They're like, knock it off. That was going to be my next question. Like, is there a civilization?
Yeah,
it's inhabited.
Well, he was adamant about it. He was like he said he had been there twice, right?
Yeah.
The first mission, he said he went there, right? They said they flew over like a cusp. And then it was just like woods.
I think.
And like UFOs intercepted them. And then
I don't know about that part.
Because there's like a whole thing where he vanished for
that he vanished
a couple days with a crew of people in the North Pole.
Yeah, and I think that's in 1946. He went twice. I think it's 1946. Actually, hold on, I wrote it down.
What's crazy about this guy is when you look up his naval stuff, I'm actually looking it up right now on my phone.
1946 Antarctica, and then he went back to the North Pole in 1947.
Oh, okay. So he kind of alternated between the two.
Yeah.
Well, it's weird. When you look up this guy, he's not defamed on the internet for his claims, because he was adamant about all these claims. But, the first thing that comes up when you look up Richard E. Byrd is, fucking Medal of Honor for being naval officer and explorer. It just says that's the highest honor for valor given to by the United States. And then it just says pioneering American aviator and polar explorer and organizer of polar logistics. So, most of the things that they base traveling around the North Pole around is his missions there, but then he's also I went into a hole in the earth.
But a lot of people, so I was watching...
Oh, by the way, did I tell you? I fell into another world.
Yeah.
I did a lot of research, and I guess people said that when they were talking to people he knew and stuff, a lot of people said that he was an extremely honest man, and that if he said that he did something, most people would believe that he did it because he had such integrity to him. He was so, like, honest. They said he was honest, loyal. He was one of, like, the best scholars that, his line of work had seen at that time. And they found him extremely knowledgeable. So they thought it was a little peculiar that he did this, but they didn't really question him because they thought that he was a very honest man.
Yeah. Walk me through some of the... debunks of was there?
Well, I mean, other than actual science,
right? But but I mean, when he comes back, all right, he comes back and he's got.
Well, he was celebrated in the news originally.
Originally, so he says, "Hey guys, peep this. There's a fucking another Earth underneath Earth." And by the way, this is not flat Earth theory. This is pretty far away from flat Earth theory.
Yeah, this is like double Earth theory.
Yeah, this is like gravity reverses itself and follows itself into the planet.
So he comes back from an expedition and says, "Hey guys, check this out. There's another fucking Earth inside our Earth."
And it was in newspapers.
He was like,
they printed that shit. They printed it. Mm-hmm. Newspapers were just like, yeah, let's run with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, that's what I'm saying. This particular man was very known to be super knowledgeable, and, like, his findings were super...
Yeah, I mean, no reason to not believe him, basically.
Yeah, they were talked about. He did a lot of awesome things, discovered a lot of awesome things. So, a lot of people were really, really believed what he had to say. But my thing, like, when I'm thinking about this in a realistic point of view, like Josh and I were talking about prior to recording, that, like, there's a lot of things to be had when you're traveling into these super cold places. Like, who's to say that you're not, imagining things?
I was going to say lack of oxygen's a bitch.
That's actually a thing. And I was just looking at near sky. Like,
that one,
literally, you look at the sky and it'll just look like the ocean all of a sudden or some shit like that, and it's just a light trick. It's like a proximity thing from like your position to the sun versus how thin the atmosphere is.
Yeah, you've never been up to that altitude before.
And it fucks with your brain. Like,
I believe it.
But the thing is that, like, he went in with the task force, and these people back him up.
Yeah, all the people that he brought with him and they all disappeared with him too, because each time he vanished, he would like just vanish off of.
You don't just get 20 crazy people together in one room.
And some of that shit is on record of him and those guys just vanishing and then coming out of it completely fine, and then they're like, all the guys say the same shit.
I just picture them being like, hey! Coming out, hey!
Yeah, they basically tell a story where, like, a bunch of, fucking giants are handing them, like, pieces of fruit and inner earth while they're hanging out, like...
Well, how come we haven't been back? If it's...
Well, that's what I'm thinking, too. Like, so nobody else has...
We've had plenty of
expeditions. Because it's probably fake.
I was gonna say, though, like, if I were to think about Hollow Earth realistically, I wouldn't think that Earth is hollow, based on the actual science that is to prove physics.
Yeah, structurally it does not seem
I don't think our compasses would work if we didn't have, metal at the center of our Earth.
Isn't that one of the things with the Hollow Earth people? They're like, if you get up there, your compass doesn't work. Like,
yeah. Like, okay, dude.
But it is like the ocean, where it's just like we're on just such a tiny little portion of the crust. Yeah. And then there's this entire gigantic inner working, you know what I mean? Like we're just like fleas on a dog, and
it's a 25,000 mile wide ball of crap. You know what I mean? There's a lot of shit in the middle, and you're not gonna know what it is.
I don't doubt that there are other civilizations inside Earth, but maybe not like in a Hollow Earth situation, like all those cave systems. I think there are other forms of beings, like in national forests or
what about
woods.
chuds?
You got werewolves. You got chuds.
No, not werewolves, not chuds. Like, I think like people, people who live in caves, cannibal humanoid underdwellers.
That's what chuds are.
I know. Yes, okay, maybe they're cannibals. I think that could be a thing. We did have this discussion about that movie. Missing
Chud?
411.
Chud.
I'm more of a Chud too.
Missing.
Oh, Bob the Chud? Yeah, it's a good movie.
Follow the
canon. Smack the shit out of both of you. So, that Missing 411 show, it's not really a show, it's a movie, documentary that I think you can get on Amazon Prime, which was really interesting because it's all about, like, these super awesome hunters who are like really skilled, like know all about hunting. They go out in packs and people just disappear. But they disappear like in hot spots where tons of people disappear.
Where the mole people get them.
You know? And so I do, and you know, they got into this topics of like demons and stuff. You know, I don't think that shit's real.
I'm not gonna lie to you, I felt like when I watched that documentary,
It was very religious at some points. I was like,
I didn't like that it was a lot of like throwing darts at a map with their train of thought. I didn't think a lot of things were interconnected that they thought were interconnected. I was like, it was a very Pepe Sylvia from Always Sunny in Philadelphia vibe going on. So, just a chalkboard full of darts and yarn all
one
over
of
the
my
place.
favorite movies.
We've already been fired.
Is The Descent.
Ah, yeah, that's a good one.
It's a good movie, yeah.
Which I think could actually, realistically, that could be a thing.
Yeah, realistically, there might be like Muppet-esque snot humans that live under the ground.
You know, I like to Dana Scully all of my theories and try to prove it realistically.
She's a reptilian believer. That's what's going on right now.
So I'm on the anything's possible tip because we're a week away from
alien disclosure.
Most definitely.
I tried to do an epic voice.
It was good. It was good. We're going to keep it.
I also just wanted to disclose with you guys, too, that in June 13th, 2014, scientists discovered a vast ocean, about 3 times the volume of our oceans combined, stored in a mineral layer of the Earth.
This is not theory. This is
a real thing.
This is a real deal.
Because I remember we had a conversation about it, and I had to go look it up.
Yeah, they can't like visit it, right? Because it's under.
No,
it's like
because
under the crust of the Earth.
But they proved it with like they can send energy signals through the Earth. Like there's like certain waves called like S waves. They have all different kinds of waves, and they were able to send this energy through the Earth to get that information. If you drill down 8 miles, that's as far as you can go.
I believe it's 8 Mile.
And then a giant M&M. Well, it's like a.
You got Papa
They had to stop because it got too hot.
It gets too fucking hot. The Middle Eastern god with them.
We're nothing.
But you can only go like so far, and same thing with like the bottom of the ocean. We can only go so far down until pressure fucks with us really hard.
Explodes your organs out of you.
Yeah.
Squeeze them right out your ears.
Yeah. Yep.
But, so, yeah, basically, like, then a bunch of UFO shit ties in and stuff, right? Like, there's a lot of people that believe that.
USOs, we have, like, things like the Mariana Trench.
Yeah, shit, when people see fucking a light just fly into the water and light up the ocean.
You know, a lot of people say that, like, well, I think some of those explorers said that, like, UFOs come in and out of the center of the Earth.
They're definitely having splashdowns in some of the videos that I've seen. Their Navy tracking some, shit that they can't explain. It's going 13,000 miles an hour, and then it just drops into the ocean. You know what I mean? It's going laterally, and then they just lose it. So I think within the next week, but hopefully by the time this episode's out,
Dead alien.
Will be it'll be the cover of the.
That's not what they're gonna give us.
Oh, I better, like I said, I'm gonna riot. If I don't see a dead alien, CNN, I'm gonna fucking riot.
I just know it because like that's what everybody wants, and they never give us what we want ever.
Just Hicks with pitchforks and torches, like, dead alien. Dead alien.
So
the government's mad vanilla as fuck.
So what I do have is access to the MUFON weekly newsletters.
That's because we have a MUFON.
We are Absurd and Report podcast are card-carrying MUFON
That's fucking
members.
right.
I thought you let it expire.
We're back in, baby.
We're official alien hunters.
We didn't even cross into just the
I know we've
bizarre
had
esoteric racism of Hollow Earth as well, because there's another.
Oh, because Nazis supposedly live
Nazis
in the
love
centers.
it. They love that shit.
That's why people believe Hitler went to be with the more advanced beings.
Yeah, Hitler believed very, very staunchly in Hollow Earth creatures.
So Hitler was a Hollow Earth.
Yeah, part of his whole thing was he believed in that and like alien stuff, like
reptilians
Nordic
too.
blonde aliens, reptilian aliens, and stuff like that. That was a big thing with him.
Well, I mean, he was.
You think he'd be friends with Alex Jones?
That's the thing. I'm not. Like I said, I think all these people are fucking completely insane. So that's
objectively.
The guy that wrote the book on this shit that I literally hold in my hand. If you look this man up, He's not a doctor in real life. Like it says he's a doctor on the inside of the
Raymond Bernard.
Yeah, Raymond Bernard wrote the Hollow Earth. He is 100% not a fucking real doctor. He believed in... If you read that Wikipedia that's right behind you right there, it basically says he's a Nazi without throwing the word Nazi in it. He was like, he believed in a super race of humans from Inner Earth, like Atlantean Agartha bullshit all day long.
Zeigmeister
is
his last name.
He moved to an island in Brazil after World War II.
He's a Nazi.
What do we know about South America after World War II?
It's where all the Nazis was like Club Men for Nazis.
I was like, was this guy just a Nazi that changed his name and then hand-bound and hand-printed this piece of shit book that we have in our hands? Like, everything about this is handmade.
Mm-hmm.
And even that stamp is a little Nazi-esque on the back of it.
It looks like a dreidel from afar.
Yeah. I don't know. Lots of sketchy, esoteric, old-school racism going on with Hollow Earth theory as well.
But hopefully in the next coming weeks we'll have some more information on...
And if we get a picture of a dead alien, I'm throwing a keg party at my house, and everyone is invited for Dead Aliens Exist kegger.
Well, that's going to wrap it up for this episode of Absurd and Report Podcast. Please stay tuned for more UFO news, strange cryptids, and insane rants that go off the track really, really quickly.
And some music crap once in a while.
And the same comic book characters all the time.
And a dead fucking alien.
Yeah, dead aliens.
I'm Derek.
I'm Josh.
And I'm Nicole sometimes.
Thanks for listening.